Hello, welcome to my channel, Ailani Creations. My name is Wendy. In this video, we'll learn how to make these 3 pairs of earrings. But before we can make these earrings, you will have to first learn how to make this heart, which you can do so by watching this tutorial up here. Once you have learned how to make the heart, we can turn it into these beautiful earrings with a few simple steps. I will provide information on the materials and tools in the description, so please be sure to check it. Alright, let's start with this easy yet elegant earring. Let's start by taking one of the hearts we made and add a jump ring to one side of the heart. Next, we'll add a 1/2 inch long chain. The length of the chain is up to your personal preference. We'll repeat on the other side of the heart by adding a jump ring to the top of the heart and then adding a 1/2 inch long chain. I didn't do a good job recording myself here. I'm constantly out of frame, but it's not too complicated, so hopefully you can tell what I'm doing. Next, we'll connect both chains to an earring stud using a jump ring. You can use any earring studs. I got this one here from Etsy. I'll provide a link in the descriptions in case you want to get the same one. And that's it, we're done with this earring. Next, let's make this red hoop earring with the white hearts in the middle. Start by straining 5 inches of 22 gauge wire with a nylon jaw plier. I am using 22 gauge wire so that size 11C beads can fit through it. Use a round mandrel to shape the wire into a circle. As I mentioned earlier, I will list the materials and tools in the descriptions. I'll also try to provide links if possible. Using a round nose plier, create a small loop on one side of the hoop. Bend the loop slightly using a chain nose plier so that it is facing upward. Next, we'll add seed beads to the hoop. I am using size 11 red hot mix from the bead mix. Add beads until you have just enough space left on the hoop to make a small loop. Use a round nose plier to create a small loop on this end of the hoop. Bend the loop slightly with a chain nose plier so that it's facing up. I am putting it around the mandrel again to make sure that it's still round. Here I am making jump rings using a 20 gauge wire because the store-bought ones are too big. I prefer mine slightly smaller. Using the jump ring I just made, I'm connecting the loops on the hoop together. Next, we'll add the heart to the hoop using 3 inches of 28 gauge wire. Wrap the 28 gauge wire around the hoop between the 8th and 9th bead. Wrap it around 2 to 3 times. Next, add 4 seed beads to the 28 gauge wire. Now add the heart and a 6mm crystal to the 28 gauge wire. Add 4 more seed beads to the 28 gauge wire. Wrap the 28 gauge wire around the other side of the hoop between the 8th and 9th bead again. Like before, wrap it 2 to 3 times. Cut off extra wire using a wire cutter and then using a chain nose plier, flatten any wire that is sticking out. Add an earring hook to the top and you're done with this earring. Next, we'll make this long earring with a dangling teardrop. We will start by wrapping the teardrop with 6 inches of 24 gauge wire. Put the teardrop through the wire and then form a triangular shape hugging the teardrop. I just use my nails to bend the wire slightly. I'm going to cut off a little bit of wire because I don't want too much sticking out. Using a round nose plier, form a small loop on top of the teardrop. Before we start wrapping the wire around, add a chain through the wire first. The chain I added is about 1 inch long. Again, it's up to your personal preference. I am using a chain nose plier to hold on to the loop while I wrap the wire around. Each layer you add, you want it to be right below the previous one. Now I am bringing the wire back to the top and wrapping it around one more time, and then I will cut off the extra wire. For some reason, I didn't record myself cutting off the extra wire. Next, we'll straighten this 3 inch 20 gauge wire with a nylon jaw plier. Create a small loop on both ends of the wire, making sure that both loops are facing the same direction. Now we'll form a circle using this mandrel. Use a chain nose plier to bend both loops slightly so that they are facing upward. Next, we'll add the chain with the teardrop to the hoop through one of the loops. Tighten and close the loops. Using a jump ring, connect both loops together. Now wrap a 3-inch 28 gauge wire around one side of the hoop. Wrap it around 3 to 4 times. Next, put the 28 gauge wire through one side of the heart, and then wrap the wire around the hoop again 3 to 4 times. Make sure the wire is very tight by pulling and tugging on it. Now cut off extra wire with a wire cutter and then use a chain nose plier to flatten any wire that might be sticking out. We are going to repeat those steps to connect the other side of the heart to the hoop. Last step is to add the earring hook, and we are done with this earring. I hope you found this tutorial helpful. Let me know in the comments which earring you plan to make. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!